Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Christopher Aaron here. It is December 26th, 2018. I hope you had a nice Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. If not, I hope you had a nice few days away from the markets and some time with loved ones, as I hope we all had a chance for. Now, before we get into this update, and this is going to be, let's call this an old-fashioned style of update. We'll do a gold and silver update only in this video. Let's look at some detail as to the intermediate term perspective for the metals. We'll get into that. Right before we do that, I want to ask you for a quick favor. I would like your opinion, because if you are watching this video, you are one of the core group of subscribers to the YouTube channel that I like to present this information for. And as you know, this channel simply started about 3.5 years ago with the intention of providing the most accurate look at what is actually happening in the precious metals themselves from a technical basis, and trying to strip away some of the rhetoric that we see, which can be rather extreme in both directions. So my question for you is this. You know we are getting ready to expand this channel, and I would like to ask you if you could give this video a thumbs up. So I'm going to hijack the like and dislike feature for this video. Give this a thumbs up if, only if, you would like to see coverage of related markets here on this channel. So things that are related to the precious metals, like other commodities, maybe platinum, maybe palladium, the commodity index, oil, currencies, the US dollar. As you know, the dollar is related to precious metals. Stock markets, sometimes the precious metals, for example, gold, will only move higher when the stock market is moving lower. So as you know, we're getting ready to expand to more topics, and I want to know, should we cover that here in this channel, or would you rather see that in a separate channel altogether? And we only focus on gold and silver here in this channel. Everything else goes to another channel. If that is the case, please give this video a thumbs down. So I'm kind of taking control of that. Once again, if you want to see coverage of related markets here in this channel, please give this a thumbs up. If you want only gold and silver and nothing else here, please give this a thumbs down. I myself, I do know that there is a lot that's related to this channel, but I want to respect the core group of investors that I know that we have here, who are mostly interested in the metals themselves. Let's move on. We're going to, as I said, do an old-fashioned, and thank you for your vote, by the way. I really will take this to heart and try to shape the format of these videos going forward. We look at gold and silver over the last 3 days. This is what we typically do. Now, the markets were closed. We're talking going into Christmas Eve. This was the Asian and London session here on Monday. The markets were closed yesterday all day for Christmas, and we had an open day today, although this week and next week will be slow. It's rare, but it's not unheard of to see a trend-defining move here happen during the Christmas week and also the New Year's week. So take everything you see here with a grain of salt for these couple weeks, but let's look at it anyway. So we had a continuation move here in gold. This level, right around 1280, we'll see this in a moment, is a critical level that gold needs to overcome if it's going to get back into the bullish stance over the intermediate term, if you ask me. So remember this level around 1280. And remember, this is the spot price we're talking about here. The front month futures contract is always going to be a few dollars higher than the spot price. Just keep that in mind. Let's switch over and look at silver. Now, this was a shining moment for silver, but I will tell you, the next couple of days, literally the next, we're talking Thursday, Friday, and perhaps into the Monday session in Asia, and maybe Monday in New York. The next 3 days are absolutely critical for silver. The $15 level has been resistance for silver for the last 5 months. It has not been able to get above 15. And I've been talking about this and saying, until we see some sort of action trying to get above 15, nothing matters. And here we are. We see this move above 15, and then what? Closing. Look at the close for the day, right at 15. So this market could go either way at this point. There are times, yes, as an analyst, where you have to say that you need to take your cues from the market. You know, not everything here is making a prediction just based on what we think is going to happen. Oftentimes in the markets, there's an if-then statement. It's like computer programming. If this, then we respond this way. If that, then we respond in a second way. So with silver here, the $15 close has been the trigger point that I've been looking at. As of this moment, all we have here is a false breakout and then coming back below the level that I was looking at. And when you tend to have these false breakouts, you like to give this market a couple days, 2 days, 3 days, perhaps at the max, to decide. And I think we will know very certainly one way or another by next Monday. Has silver finally cleared this $15 level? In that case, it keeps the bull case open. There's some more work to be done. We'll look at that in a minute. But if this fails, for example, if by Friday and especially by Monday, we see silver just backing off back into the mid-14s, I would say this was a false breakout above 15, and watch out because we're getting ready for significantly lower prices in silver over the next several months and perhaps well into 2019. So I think this is a critical day to watch here, December 25th. If then statements being made, watch the $15 level, please. Now, moving into gold and silver, the near-term charts, everything here is color coordinated. We'd like to do a proper take on the intermediate term level here for gold. And what I wanted to tell you also, when we bring up the key here, we have colors to everything. So if you need to pause this video, just pause it and put it to full screen so you can see all the detail. These charts are rather detailed, but they try to make things as simple as possible so that you can really get a good look at the trends that are setting up. What I want to tell you is we've added a few more annotations down here to make this even more readable. Okay, so for example, when you have a dashed line, okay, such as these types of dashed lines in here, the channel that we have been in for the last 5 months presently, dashed lines, we're talking about trends that are less significant. Less significant than what? Than the solid colors, the solid lines that we've seen here. For example, the trend from 2015 through the present 2018, which was broken. A very important trend here. The dashed lines are less important. Now, I've been going by this for the last few years, this sort of key here, but I haven't put this into writing. So I just want everyone to know what all these different colors mean. Now, the important thing that has happened here with gold as we look at this market is it is finally getting back. It's a little earlier than I thought. I thought it was going to be in the first quarter of 2019, but it is, look at the test today, okay? Now we're talking about futures prices. So slightly above 1282 in the futures market. We saw in the spot market below, slightly below 1280. So look at where this hit came in. Right along the broken trend line, this from the absolute bottom of the bear market thus far, as we know, broken here. We're talking this trend, the blue primary trend. Notice how it came right back up to that today. Now, unless another group of buyers are going to step into this market, a group of buyers who we don't know about yet. So let's say another event happens. There have been rumors of Trump trying to fire Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman. You know, Trump is pulling out of Syria and possibly Afghanistan. Thank goodness. There are a lot of things happening in the world today, and maybe one of those things causes a new group to show up here in the precious metals market, which did not exist 5 months ago. So we had this breakdown 5 months ago of a trend. Does a new group show up here to recover that trend? Because if not, then the bias, all things considered, is that this market should fail to recover the broken trend, and it should roll over. It should roll over. It should fail to recover it. It should break the lower trend line of the short-term channel and we should make a new low in 2019 below this bottom here. So this is why I'm saying if you're involved in this market, especially in leveraged forms, such as the mining complex, or if you're making big purchases, or if you're in one of those leveraged ETFs or whatever, the risk here is that this scenario plays out. And if you're looking at this market right now and you're saying, I want to go all in because it looks really bullish, I would tell you there is merit to waiting to see whether or not we can recover this broken trend. Because if we cannot recover this broken trend here, this market backs off, and perhaps a double high or a bit of a grind here over the next couple of weeks, and then this market will make another lower low. So we are at a critical point now to monitor. The trend line comes in at 1285 on the futures market. We got up to 1282. We are right there. The model says that gold should back off. It would take a new group of buyers. We mentioned those possible fundamentals. It would take a new group of buyers to step into this market to negate the technical pattern here. And no study of any fundamentals would alert you to that as well. I'm talking it would take a completely new group of buyers. Not you, not the people you already talked to about precious metals. They're already in this market. It would take a completely new group of investors to come in to recover this broken trend. Let's see if they show up. Switching over to silver. The important points to remember here as we're talking about silver. Long-term trend line was broken. This goes back all the way to 2003. So we're still below that trend line. And I say silver is probably going to take a cue from gold at this point. And if gold can recover that broken trend line that we just saw, the shorter term trend, then silver has a chance. It has a chance of doing the same thing. But the job is going to be a lot tougher for silver. And this is just something that you have to get used to if you're a silver investor. Silver is going to struggle for 75 or 80% of the time. And then it's going to play catch up in a major kind of way. But the levels that we would need to see overcome here for silver to switch me back into the bullish camp over the short run, we're talking about this broken trend line right here, the magenta color, 1575. We're talking about the black support and resistance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Failed on the 12th time. Can you see this black level right here? Black for horizontal support resistance. 12 times failed. All things considered, for a market, when that happens, you expect a retest to come up back up to the level and then fail. There's also the trend line, primary trend line here from the 2017 peak, which is still coming down. All three of these levels are converging. You can see that here within the next 6 months. Extremely, extremely difficult technical resistance for silver to try to overcome at this point. The bias must be that it is going to fail to do so and hit our outstanding target, which is lower, $12.80. This is the bias for silver from a technical basis. Now, would I be happy if silver is able to break this trend, the support and resistance level here, the black one, and the long-term trend line? Would I be happy? We'd be talking about a level of around $16.75. It would have to overachieve this. Would I be happy with that at this point? Yes, I would. Why? Because it would tell me, even though I missed the exact bottom by a few dollars, I really wouldn't care. Because it would tell me that the majority of the damage has already been done. And think about it, from $16 or $17 silver back up to $50, there is a fortune to be made. But by paying attention to these levels, we at least have a defined target where we can say, is silver back in the game or is it not? As of now, remember, we're looking at that $15 level. Can it stay above that through next Monday? I think that gives us a good perspective. Does this market have a chance of recovering the more significant resistance that we see in this range right here between 1560 and 1675. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want to tell you I'm going to be at a conference within the next several weeks. I will be speaking live at that event. I am going to announce the details of that next week, but just stay tuned. If you would like to see me live in person, we can arrange that. I'll give you details. Things that I want to mention, a number of new things coming up. As I said, please vote whether or not you'd like to see related markets. We're talking dollar, we're talking oil, we're talking stocks. Do you want to see that all in this channel, or do you want to see me move that to a separate channel? Because I truly value your opinion. This is the core group of subscribers that we have, and I would like to ask you for your opinion. So thank you on that. If you would like to go more in depth into the research that we do here at iGold Advisor behind the scenes, there is a premium service. And I want to tell you, this week coming up is a special 1-hour premium subscriber video. This is our 2018 Precious Metals Review and 2019 Outlook. It's a similar format to what you have just seen, a lot more in depth. We will have a snippet of that here next week on this YouTube channel. We'll look at a couple of things, a couple key takeaways, but the full 1-hour special goes out to premium subscribers this Monday, 2018 review. You can find more of that on the webpage. If you would like to speak to me, Christopher Aaron, in person, you can do so on the consultations tab on the website. Please know, I only look out for the best interest of individuals. I do not push anything on anyone. And in fact, if I think people should perhaps be more cautious or wait or not buy something, I'm just as happy to say that as the opposite. So you can reach me on that. I do want to thank all the subscribers on Patreon. Sincerely, thank you from the bottom of my heart on this New Year's coming up. It means a lot to me that you are supporting this channel directly. As we look into 2019, I want to really share this message, which is let us look for opportunities everywhere. Let us not be held back by those who would dare to try to limit our potential. Both as investors and as human beings, we are much more powerful than some out there would like us to know. And so whether it is following gold or silver, or whether it is following other markets, whether it is improving ourselves as individuals, our health, our help to others around us in the community, our care for the natural world, let us look at these things in 2019 coming up. And remember, there are opportunities all around us. Let's just keep our eyes open. Some things that are coming up, I'm very excited to announce. There are a few conference appearances that are coming up. We'll have details on that next week. Free videos, more free videos coming out on diverse and related markets. Just tell me how you would like to see it. And finally, a new global macro premium service coming out in just 2 weeks that is going to feature the exact trades that we are making in copper, oil, platinum, palladium, the stock market, the bond market, etc., etc. This is going to be for serious investors and traders only. Thank you, and I'll see you this time next week. Happy New Year.